Hi guys, I'm going to do my poetry lesson. So the title of my lesson is The Purpose of Poetry. And I picked this lesson because I feel like I was always a student that I needed to know why this was important for me to learn about. And I think especially with students that might not show any interest in poetry, that'd be a good way to grab their interest. The materials needed for this assignment would be computers for the students to access and poetry books for students to look through. My objectives for this lesson is that students will be able to find and share passages of poems that they find interesting and memorable. And my second objective is that students will be able to find a poem that they find suitable for a real life situation. The vocabulary that I will want students to know prior to teaching this lesson includes line, phrases, recite, and practical. For the Montana standards, I chose RL 69, which is compare and contrast text in different forms or genres. Stories, poems, historical novels, fantasy stories, traditional and contemporary stories by and about American Indians in terms of their approaches to similar themes and topics. So the background knowledge that I would want students to have and how I plan to activate their prior knowledge on this topic is I would read The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost and Do Not Go Gentle into the Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Those are poems that I heard a lot during high school and I remember being read to them, so I would use those. And after I get done reading, I would ask students what they thought of the poems, what they liked about them or didn't like. I'll ask if they have any poems or passages memorized that they would want to share. And then I'll ask students when they think poems are used in real life situations. For guided practice, I will begin by discussing why poems can be useful in real life situations, such as weddings, funerals, during toasts, before meals, in romantic settings, and during political speeches. To prove this point, I'll read poems from all three of the categories. I also thought it'd be a good idea to use technology at this point and maybe show the students videos of speeches that are famous or that they may have seen maybe from movies or something like that. And after I read the selected poems, I would ask students what real life situation they found the poems would best fit. For independent practice, we would move on and I would group students up and then give them a real life situation that they have to find a poem for. So I'm thinking I would group 2 to 3 students in each group and they'd have like funeral, wedding, something like that, and then be in charge of finding a poem that they think would best fit that situation. For assessment then, we would all come back as a class and I'd give students the option to read their poem, but if they didn't want to, I would just have them turn it in. And I would be able to read the poem with the life situation that they were given to see if they used it appropriately. And that is it.